you know just what I mean. You too team, keep it clean. You see my boy, he like gotta made it. Well, that's my homie, ain't that right, Ingraven?
So team, keep it clean. It's Ingraven here with another video. We about to get into another episode of questions from subs. Before we get into it though, I gotta say I really appreciate y'all because I appreciate y'all support because we work really hard. We work really hard, and I appreciate the fact that y'all support what we do because it means a lot. Because again, like we always say, support ain't nothing that you have to do or have to show anything like that, but y'all do it. So I appreciate it because it's not easy. It's fun. There's a lot that comes with it too. It's a lot of work that goes into the videos, the channel, the everything. But I appreciate y'all looking out with your support. Just wanted to say that real quick before we get into it. But first question came from Makai. Said the offense is better than fans think. When he said, "Hey, Ingraven, before reading this email, what would you say is the job of an offense in the NFL?" Well, I would say that job is to score points, score touchdowns, get points, get yards, drain the clock, but mostly score, straight up. But anyway, he said, if you said score the ball, most people would say you're right, and that is what this offense has done. Before the Bucs game, they were 6th in points per game, and they had an excellent second half against Tampa. I think this offense could be a bit better, but begging for a top wide receiver and begging for Greg Roman to be fired seems unnecessary. Just my opinion. Keep up the good work. Oh, no, you said keep up the great work. I appreciate it, Makai. Now, the humidity is... It keeps making the camera a little blurry, but I mean, I guess we just gonna have to rock with it. And then the internet on here, the last video that y'all saw, it literally took the last question from a subscriber video before this one. It literally took like 12 or 13 hours to upload that video. So just letting y'all know how much I love y'all. But anyway, yeah, I did see somebody else say that the offense was 6th in points per game. Now that's cool. That's great, amazing. 6th in NFL points per game. But what does the eye test tell you? Tell me what the eye test tells you, because we can look at numbers all day, and numbers are great, but numbers don't ever tell the whole story. And we see the struggles of this offense. We see the struggles of the situational play calling with this offense. We see struggles with execution with this offense. We see that this offense is limited. The numbers, I think the numbers are reflecting a lot of what happened early on in the season. I know that Dolphins game, I know that pushed them numbers up a whole lot. What other game did too? Really the first 3 games of the season, and those were great. But then we look at the last 4 games of the season. But in the Tampa game, the offense did start waking up, so they did start getting it back. But the numbers, they don't always tell the whole story. Yet being 6th is great. It's amazing. But you gotta look at what the eye test tells you, because the numbers, they don't always tell the whole story. Next question came from my guy Matthew. He said, with Andrews and Bateman leaving the game early with injuries, we saw Lamar spread the field. We saw Robinson finally have a good game. Prochet make his mark besides penalties, and Isaiah most likely had the game of his life. No. Hopefully that wasn't the game of his life. Hopefully that was the best game that he's had thus far. But that ain't going to be the game of his life. He'll have better ones than that. But anyway, he said, do you think when Andrews and Bateman get healthy, will Lamar keep stretching the field and showing what this offense is truly capable of, or will we see the same as we've seen? Thursday night felt special. Keep doing you. I love your videos. Appreciate that, Matt. Hopefully that'll be the start of something special. But a lot just depends on Lamar looking to different people and building trust with different people, but it also depends on the play calling too. They both go hand in hand. Lamar got to look for other guys besides Mark Andrews, and Giro got to call for a lot more short stuff. Everything ain't got to be down the field. You got to call for short stuff to get different guys involved. So it takes both of them. Next question came from that boy Isaiah. He said, Ingraven, this is my first question in a couple years. Been moving across the country. Just moved to Florida. Hey, you picked the right spot, baby. But anyway, what Ravens outside of Lamar should the Ravens consider paying before they hit the open market in free agency and price themselves out of Baltimore? MP Juiceman or Justin Houston? I would love for them to pay Marcus Peters. I don't think they will pay Marcus Peters. I think they're gonna move on. Justin Houston. Ravens, veterans are important, and obviously Justin Houston, if the Ravens didn't have Justin Houston this year, that pass rush would be even worse. But you got to get to a point where where a veteran is a bonus, like like an older veteran, where they're a bonus and not a necessity, in my opinion. Justin Houston should be a bonus, but he's a necessity right now. Like, they need Justin Houston bad. So if they could get to the point where they could start relying on their younger guys more, and your young guys get better, they just got to get better straight up, then that would be a good thing. He said Justice Hill or Drake ain't gonna be here next year. Like, he ain't gonna be here next year. Drake been doing good, but he ain't gonna be here next year. Justice Hill, that'll be interesting. When I was just talking to my guy about this the other day, he had brought it up to me, and he was thinking like Justice Hill could be a sneaky guy for a contract extension. It wouldn't be crazy numbers, anything like that, but it would keep him around because Justice Hill, he does double duty. He's a running back, but he's also a good special teamer. And you know how Ravens feel about them special teamers, because special teams is important. So that could buy Justice Hill an extension. And he said, and with the Bears looking like they are starting to sell players, should EDC call up Bears GM and see if Roquan Smith is available since the season starting? It's been quiet. I mean, he could, and he would make the defense better, and I think that would give Patrick Queen a lot more freedom, and that would allow them, again, Josh Bynes is another guy, another older veteran where Ravens rely on him. He's not a bonus. They relied on him. So if they got Roquan Smith, having him and Patrick Queen would be cool. I think that would definitely spell the end of Patrick Queen, though. That would be Patrick Queen, even if they picked up his fifth-year option, which I don't think they would, especially if they got Roquan Smith. But even if they did pick up Patrick Queen's fifth-year option, he would not be a Baltimore Raven for the foreseeable future, man. Ravens hired you. Next question came from my guy Manuel. He said, hey, Mr. Ingraven, we are the Baltimore Ravens, and we're contacting you that we are giving you the position of GM this 2023 season for 5 years till 2028 with a high six figures on your check. Since our previous GM failed to secure our QB and Super Bowl MVP Lamar Jackson on a contract and franchise tag him instead, Mr. Bisciotti decided to part ways with him. Hopefully that doesn't happen in real life and he gives Lamar a contract. It is now your responsibility alongside two Super Bowl champion John Harbaugh to create a proper team for our city. What would your moves be? And he said, P.S. if we speak that Lamar has a Super Bowl, then it will happen. We'll see. What my moves would be, I would try to bring in DeAndre Hopkins, so I could have Rashad Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins, Devin Duvernay, and then in the draft, I'd probably take a receiver in like maybe the third round, and then I will be set. The offense, I will bring in. First, I would tell Harbaugh, like, look, man, love you. Hey, you got your second Super Bowl, which is great. We really about to go in on this offense, though, man. That old school philosophy that you got, it ain't cutting it with me, and it's not gonna cut it with this team. So we about to spread that ball out. So you either with it or you're not, man. And if he was with it, then I say, all right, let's do it. If he wasn't with it, I say, all right, you got to go, my friend. But I would bring in an offensive or a head coach or offensive coordinator that has really had success. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. Maybe Sean Payton. Hey, we'll see. Maybe Eric B. We'll see. But I will bring in somebody that could really open up this offense, open up the passing game, and somebody who's really gonna not tap Lamar's potential, bring it out. Because I would be tired and I would be sick and tired of seeing it having been wasted for the past 5 years. But I mean, if they got a Super Bowl, they obviously did enough to win. But I would want to see the offense be opened up that much more. Other moves I will make, like we were talking about earlier, older veterans, I would want them to be a bonus and not us have to rely on them. Just really try to do everything we can to get the most out of our young players. Really focus on immediate impact from the draft and good depth. Again, uprooting the whole philosophy that the Ravens had before and starting something brand new. Next question came from my guy Caden. He said, more opportunity? And Graven, hope the family is doing great. They are. Okay, I don't think it was too blurry. But anyway, he said, I know most Ravens flock is happy after a win. This will be a short message. With Andrews and Bateman getting hurt, we saw guys like Likely, Prochet, and DeMarcus Robinson get more targets and reps. And with that, in my opinion, came more success in the passing game. I know you talked about it before, how Lamar latches onto his main guys instead of spreading it around. My question Excuse me, my question is, even after Andrews and Bateman come back healthy, do you think we will see Lamar throw the ball to his other guys? Since we just saw they can clearly make big plays happen. He said, LOL, sorry, I guess that wasn't that short of a message. But thanks for everything you do for the Ravens community. And just like Tom Brady will be after this season, I'm out. Hey, yeah, when you said, like, oh, this is going to be short, then I saw the message. I was like, oh, that ain't short, but I guess you realize after. He also said, P.S. I wanted to mention how when we had a good mix of a run game and pass game, the Bucs weren't stopping us. I think the second half offense needs to be what we see more of going forward. Okay, now I'm out. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, so my question is, even after Andrews and Bateman come back healthy, do you think we'll see Lamar throw the ball to the other guys? We will hope so. Hope so. Like we said earlier, man, everything just depends on, obviously, Lamar. It depends on them getting open, and it also depends on the type of play calls that there are. So as long as all three of those can make it happen, I mean, it's doable. It's doable. But it's just a wait-and-see type of thing. This is why I couldn't get too high on that game, because I don't know if there will be consistency after that. I hope there will be, but we'll see. Next question came from my guy Ricky B. He said, what's up, Ingraven? Spread offense. I want to talk about our scheme and how we looked better when our wide receivers were already out. When there were 3 to 4 wide receivers on the field, it opened up the field for Lamar. Yes, man. Yes. Pat Ricard, as we love him. We love him. Great fullback. I mean, defensive tackle. It's funny. I was telling my guys the other day on a podcast that I was on with them. Like somebody, I forgot who said it, but it was so funny when I saw it. They were like, somebody said the Ravens are the only team in the NFL that will have a defensive tackle lined up in a slot. And that's Pat Ricard. But anyway, he said, when there were 3 to 4 wide receivers on the field, it opened up the field so much for Lamar. When we had 1 wide receiver and we were bunched, we got stopped. Why won't G-Ro use the spread offense more? This is why I get so frustrated with it, because the inconsistencies, man. We know, we've been talking about what will work, what the Ravens should do. But yeah, anyway, he said the Eagles have 3 to 4 wide receivers on the field at one time, and they moved the ball without any issues. Also, because we used our receivers, Lamar was able to throw the screens he needed and effectively set up the run, read option, and play action. Like, this goes to show us fans that it's the scheme. If we have more than 2 wide receivers on the field, we're good. It spreads out the defense and allows us to open up the run game. Thank you. I mean, you said it. I mean, you've been calling stuff all season, so, I mean, I know you know. But anyway, he said, last thing, at Louisville, Lamar did play in a spread offense. What are your thoughts? You're right. You're right. You're 2,000% right, man, and I hope that the Ravens run more of it. Next question came from my guy Greg and B Moore. He said, Duvernay, use Duvernay more. I didn't see the same usage with Duvernay in the Giants loss and in a few other games like the usage was in the Bengals and recently the Bucs game. When they use Duvernay like Duvernay should be used correctly, it's great to watch. Not saying he's on Debo's level, but he's our version of Debo Samuel. And even when Bateman returns more healthy, we need to continue using Duvernay and giving him the ball more. What are your thoughts on Duvernay? And do you agree Duvernay should be more of a priority getting the ball to than all of our other wide receivers? Appreciate you and go Ravens. They definitely need to involve Duvernay. This was another one of my frustrations with the Bengals game. We saw Duvernay doing so much. Then the Giants game, they didn't have him doing anything. Like, they didn't even try this stuff at all. And it's like, man, like, what are y'all doing, man? Again, the inconsistencies, man. Like, Ravens will do something good, and then it's like, okay, we see something have success, then they won't do it. It's like, what are you doing? So hopefully they do continue to get Duvernay involved and keep him involved, even when Andrews is back, even when Bateman is back. Keep getting Duvernay that ball. Next question came from my guy Rodell. He said, G-Ro versus Greg Roman. My guy, I hope you had a blast at the game. As always, stressful, but we got the job done. Man, oh man, this game was night and day. However, I think Richard Sherman made a good point post-game. That first half seemed experimental. The flock cries for more passing, and we did just that. G-Ro went against what he and we do best against Tom Brady. Talk about a gutsy game plan. Lamar went from barely passing in Week 7 to airing it out in one half in Week 8. Although G-Ro called a totally unforeseen game plan, it failed miserably. What his first half game plan was missing was a number 1 wide receiver, Bateman and Andrews. We are clearly missing that other guy, and hopefully that gets addressed by the time this gets to you. Well, it hasn't. Well, I think with the first half game plan, it's not just about passing the ball, but it's about putting more emphasis on the wide receivers. That first half, they put a lot of emphasis on passing, but there were like a million tight ends out there, and there'd be a lot of sets with 1 wide receiver. So it's like when they try to do something, well, they try to do something right. A lot of times they still like mix it up. But anyway, he said best part of this game, adjustments. Yes, Yes, because I was scared that they were not going to make any adjustments myself. But anyway, he said, best part of this game, adjustments. Giro went back to what his team was built to do. Went back to his philosophy. Once he called his game, we look like a well-oiled machine. While he won't win over a bunch of fans from this performance, we always say our coaches don't adjust, and he did just that. Yeah, they did adjust. Again, it was a pleasant surprise. He said, as I said, stressful, but a huge win. And Lamar took checkdowns, too. Very nice to see. Flacco loved and overused checkdowns. Lamar hates and never used them. That was great to see, and shout out to the wide receivers we do have. The last few weeks, one thing our wide receivers have been doing is getting yak. Lamar has to take what's there and let them boys continue to do their part 1 week at a time. Trust. And the last questions on this episode came from my guy, Flirt Nowinski. He said, hey, what's up, bro? Hope all is well with you. Back again to talk to my fellow Pacemaker gang members. Second week in a row, I'm sending a question and statement mid-game, and we only in the first quarter. So, okay, so he sent this in the first quarter Bucks game. Right after we get the muff punt on the 5, we have a 6'1", 240 back that just ran in 2 touchdowns on his first game back. So tell me why Drake is in the game on all Drake is in the game on the 5 on all 3 downs. Hey, again, situational play calling, man. But anyway, he said, why? Bro, you know me. I don't think Giro is that bad, but my goodness, I now see what you all see. And for the second time in 2 weeks before halftime, I'm cutting the TV off. I'm out. Then he said, and another thing, Kennard, starting, a nobody, starting against Tom Brady. So you're telling me you have all pro players on the defense that's getting destroyed weekly because of terrible play calls. So you put somebody that was going to be on the streets out there playing a cover 2, and you have him man in the middle, a nobody. Once again, bro, win, lose, or draw, just blow it all up. LOL. Man, give us a couple thousand. We could coach a better game. I'm telling you, bro, these players do not deserve this. I'm just disgusted all the way around the board, bro. The first 2 drives got me hot. I knew I shouldn't have turned the game back on. LOL. I'm out. P.S. Be strong, Pacemaker gang. And then his last one, he said, bro, I promise you this is the last email in game. But when is McDonald going to get fired? Remember I said we see this, and I know the people that are getting paid millions they are destroying that young cover 2 match, and they aren't coming out of it. I just watched them call the same exact play 4 times straight, the same exact play. We all watch it. This is what I mean. Remember when everybody complained about Wink not adjusting? Well, at least we were top 5 in defense. McDonald just sits there and gets abused. I'm officially on to get Giro out of here, mob, but I'm the leader of the McDonald has to go committee, because this is disgusting. Once again, the players don't deserve this at all. People keep saying he's new, that's cool, but once again, you have to coach players, not just call plays. Cover 2 is nothing without a pass rush. We don't have one. And sitting in the cover 2 all game is insanity. He may be new, but this isn't his first time coaching defense in football. And you know one thing, Giro and one thing Giro and McDonald have in common: Hobbs. Get Hobbs out of here. Well, that was certainly a lot. I wonder if his thoughts after the game changed. I don't think they did, because I know my guy Flirt Nowinski been on McDonald for a long time. He's been talking about this cover 2 for a long time. The defense, they've been something, man. And I think one of the things with the defense in that game against the Bucks, the defense would have looked even better, because overall they look good. Not great, not bad, but they look good. But they could have looked great if they would have caught those picks that they dropped. That was so huge, man. They dropped so many picks, but hopefully next time they'll get them.
Yeah, this feels like a